The world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed and Cody McClure. Cody, how's Texas?
Everything's good here, John. It's a great day to be alive. Good to be here. Good to be anywhere, despite it being early in the morning. I am here and ready to record, my friend. Texas.
It is 12:15 Central Time, my friend.
That it is. Texas is good. You know, the time's flying by. It's already May 24th. Can you believe it? June, right around the corner. Pride Month. You excited?
Yeah. I've got a lot of things planned for you. I've got some gifts to give you to kind of help celebrate the month for you.
Well, I figured you'd be excited about it. What's that?
I am, yeah. I know that it's a big deal for you, my good friend. So it gets me excited to know that we finally, get to have that 30-day stretch to really talk about how brave you are and how much we've came as a society and as a friendship. Yeah,
how much we've came, huh?
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Well, it's a great month, a great reason to celebrate, and I can tell you're in the spirit by that sweater you're wearing. So,
not wearing a sweater; it is simply a t-shirt.
Why are you wearing long sleeves? Isn't it like 85 degrees there?
I'm not going to lie to you, big man. I woke up with a pretty good hangover this morning, kind of rushing to get to the studio.
Uh-oh.
And I had some clean shorts that are like not salmon colored. I don't even know. Dark clay colored maybe. And I was like, what can I wear with this? I was like, okay, black would look good with this. And I was like, my black t-shirt. Here we go. But I don't really hang out outside during the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, that new studio you're in there, does it get cold in there or is it?
No, it gets hot. It gets hot.
That's not good.
No, it's not so hot right now, but and sometimes in the morning, especially like getting here early, I don't really fuck with the thermostat at all or mess with it. So sometimes it's a little bit hot in here. You got a fan that runs. It's okay. It's tolerable. Like right now, it feels fine. What about that little shipping container you live in? What's the temperature like in there?
Oh, it gets hot. It gets hot. It's made out of steel. So once it gets to about 90 here, even with the air conditioner running, it's kind of miserable to be in here. So, and I got ants. There's ants crawling around here. I don't know.
Now, how are you feeling in Texas?
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't have a good answer. I feel okay. Humidity's, it comes and goes. Austin's kind of on the dividing line between the American Southeast and the American West. So sometimes when it's 98 degrees, it's unbearable. It's like Houston. And then other
Word
times.
Word to Nick Lachey,
I don't catch the reference, I'm afraid. Did he have a song called Unbearable?
Nick Lachey?
Yeah. Wasn't that Jessica Simpson's boyfriend?
Husband. But yes, he was her husband. I don't know if he had a song called Unbearable.
Oh, the reference went over my head.
Oh.
Shout out the Fray.
No, not the Fray. Nick Lachey.
Right, but the Fray had a song called Over My Head.
Oh.
Well, this is a hot start here. A Texas woman fired 8 shots at a McDonald's worker over missing hash browns. So that's one thing that's going on in Texas. She said her hash browns and biscuits were missing from her McDonald's breakfast order. So she went bang, 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 bang. That's 8 shots. And turned out she actually ate the entire order.
Wait. What?
She ate the entire McDonald's breakfast order and wanted free breakfast. She wanted some more. Big old fat girl, So she shot fired 8 gunshots, bang, 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 bang. That's 8 at a McDonald's worker over missing hash browns. Turns out they looked into it. She had ate the order. She ate it.
How did they find out that she had ate the order?
I'm not sure. I didn't read the story, but that was the headline from the New York Post. So that's one thing that's going on in Texas. I don't know what city that was in. I don't think it was Austin, but I don't know that for sure. I would have had to read the story.
I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, I'm safe. I marked myself safe from the McDonald's gunshots.
You know, if there was a place you were going to get shot, if I hear McDonald's shooting Texas, there's at least like a 2% chance that you could be affected.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of McDonald's in Texas. I feel like it would probably be lower than 2%, but there is a chance I could be there on any given day.
Yeah, I guess it'd be like a 2% chance if you were in Austin. If it was like an Austin McDonald's.
Yeah, it's not. I usually am not up for breakfast either. You know, the cutoff's 10:30, so normally I go down to my little restaurant down in Lockhart, down to Henry's, but I've had problems with Henry's lately too, so there's a waitress there who's just terrible.
Is she mean to you?
She's just terrible. She's just really, really bad at her job, and she's neglectful. And you know, I try not to. I don't make it a goal of mine to come on this podcast and trash waitresses, you know, working women who are just trying to get by. But I mean, this chick is just, she's awful. You know, she'll tell you she's going to bring you a cup of coffee, and then she doesn't bring it. You know, she just says shit to appease you because she doesn't come by often enough. So she'll come by every now and then and say, "Oh, can I get you another cup of coffee?" Yeah, you can. This one's empty. And she never brings it. And, you know, if it's not that, it's something else. She doesn't listen to the modifications you make to an order. I say I want an egg sandwich and I want it with American cheese. I don't want that cheddar shit, that plastic, microplastic cheese. I want American cheese that melts in my mouth. She brings a sandwich that's got cheddar cheese on it. She doesn't listen. So the first time I had her, I left her $2 just out of, you know, the goodness in my heart, even though she's one of the worst waitresses I've ever had. And this last time, I got to say, I cut it down to $1 I left.
Well, see, now you have messed up. Now she knows that Big Fatty doesn't tip. So she's not going to give you any efforts at all. Like, and I'm not saying that you were wrong for not tipping her, you know, nicely in the first place. I don't know how bad she was on your first visit, but I'm going to guess she wasn't $2 bad because I imagine the way you order, that was like 10 to 12% of a tip. I imagine your bill's somewhere around 18 to 20 bucks. Is that fair to say?
Oh, at least, yeah.
So you leaving her $2 is kind of messed up. So now she's not going to give you any type of service. Now, again, I don't know how she was on the first time.
She was bad.
If you're going to leave a bad tip, you got to be willing to not go back to that place. At least that's the way I do it.
Well, I've had her twice, and she's been bad both times. So, yeah, if I go back a third time, you're right. She probably will remember me. I left her $1 last time, which she didn't deserve that. But I felt bad for her. You know, my old ways, I would have just stiffed her. I would have given it to her hard, just stiff right there, nothing, no money. But I left her a little bit just because, you know, she may have a child at home or something that she needs to feed. And so I wanted to do what I could. But, I mean, she's just terrible. All the other girls are great. Normally, I get the other girls, they all do a very good job. They got this one girl who's just, she's lacking. She's bringing the whole ship down. They need to fire this broad.
Now, how do you tip the other girls?
20%. I tip them accordingly. Always.
Come on.
Always. I always tip 20%.
Come on.
Especially the cute ones.
Come on.
I tip 20%. What do you say? I'm not a bad person when it comes to tipping. I promise. But if the service is subpar, I'm going to reduce the amount a bit. And this girl is neglectful.
I'm just wondering if you've upset the good waitresses and now they have foisted you onto the bad waitress because they don't want to deal with you anymore.
Well, I don't think we know that yet because this has only happened twice that I've gotten this other girl. I don't think she would have remembered me after the first one because there was
2 times in a row or no?
Well, no, it wasn't like 2 days in a row.
No, I'm just saying 2 times in a row.
No, I go there at least probably 2 or 3 times a week.
But okay, so you've gone bad waitress, good waitress, bad waitress type of thing.
Yeah, it's usually bad waitress, good waitress, good waitress, good waitress. Like it was a spaced out amount of time that I had this girl. Now I do think this girl probably remember me now.
Yeah.
Because it's been twice now, but
she's telling everybody, hey, that big old slob that comes in here and orders the egg sandwich with cheese on it.
And the breakfast tacos.
Yeah, he doesn't tip, so nobody give him good service. Now you're done in that town.
Well,
now you're done.
No, I think those other girls will say, no, we get that guy, and he's good. He tips us every time. He tips us 20%. I wonder why he's not tipping you so well, Sheila or whatever. Her name's not Sheila. She's young. She's probably like 30 or, 27 or something. So I doubt her name's Sheila. But she's just bad at her job. And some people are bad at their job. And I just can't reward that. I'm sorry.
I know. I once heard a story recently about a Uber driver with a 2-star rating. He'd given a couple of 2-star rides. So I kind of understand.
Yeah, well, that's not true because, in my last 500 ratings, I'm 4.99. So you can't even say that about me.
So what's going on? What else is happening? Anything to report?
You mean in the world or just like in my life, or what do you mean?
I'm blown away that you said you still wake up at like 11 o'clock.
I work late.
How late do you work?
Well, beginning on Thursday nights, a lot of times I won't get in until like 2:30, 3 in the morning, and then I need time to unwind. So I'm working. The weekend starts on Thursdays, although it was a little bit slow last night. But
I guess I was under the impression you weren't doing the late night driving anymore. I thought you were doing a lot of like daytime, evening driving.
Well, during the week I cut it off. Yeah, like between 11 and midnight, or sometimes even
not
earlier.
On weekends. Not on weekends.
No, on the weekends everybody's out and about and drinking, and it's a party. So I drive sometimes till the bars close on the weekends. So
I gotcha.
I adjust my week accordingly. I sacrifice a little sleep usually on Sunday nights so I can be up a little earlier Monday mornings. But yeah, I haven't been awake long today because I was out late. But
yeah, you need to pick the energy up. You're really ruining the podcast today.
I think the podcast is going great so far. I think we're doing fine. But in my life, I finished my song. I performed a little bit of my song for you the other day, and I've since added a verse and a bridge and a little fade out at the end. I put a little riff on it, even put a little solo on it, even though I don't really know how to play a solo, but we
heard, trust me, we know.
You didn't hear the solo at all.
We heard a good enough amount to know that you can't really solo. We got a pretty good idea.
No, that's not true. The guitar doesn't really come across well on the podcast, but I finished the song and I think it's a hit. So I'm excited about that. Just got to refine it a little bit and get a band behind it, and I should have a top hit. So that's a good thing that's going on in my life. I finished my song. And then, other than that, I've just been out doing Ubers and stuff. And that's about it. That's about it. How's your week going?
Well, my week's going okay. First of all, time for the shout outs. Shout out to Zachary Jordan, who bought two. He bought 2 World's Greatest Podcast in America t-shirts. 2.
Zachary Jordan. Now, any relation to Michael?
I don't know. You got to ask Zach.
Take that as a no.
I would say, actually, I'm fairly confident there is someone somewhere in his family tree named Michael. So I will say yes, he is related to Michael.
It's a very common name.
Might not be the Michael, but a Michael, yes. But shout out to him. He bought 2 T-shirts, which, by the way, since graphic design is my passion, I created us a new T-shirt, and it is up on the fanrunradio.com/shop website. It's red, and there's a white option, and I don't think you like it.
No, I do like it. I do like it. I think you did a good job with it.
Okay, good.
Why do you think I don't like it?
I'm also working on getting your design on a shirt as well, your drawing.
I think that'll be a good seller too. I think we really have a couple of good logos there to offer the audience, and clearly there's demand from our audience. I saw our most recent podcast had nearly 34 YouTube comments. So shout out to our YouTube listeners, and shout out to us, and shout out to the people who are making it very clear that they want this to happen 2 times per week.
Yeah, I got to say, there were a lot of people that kind of swayed me. I was ready to hang it up and go to 1 time a week, but there was enough demand. I signed up a couple new patrons that came for the podcast, sold some shirts. There was a lot of comments. So I will say that until the end of June, maybe the last week of June, I'll start back up trying to milk the audience and threaten them with, 1 episode a week. But for a month, I'll power through and we'll do 2 a week.
Well, and another thing, you don't want to be responsible for someone's death. You don't want to have that on your conscience. And I saw several, well, not several, but more than 2, multiple comments of some listeners who said they may kill themselves if we don't do twice a week. And so,
okay, well, how about you get your own bit, you do your own content and your own segments, and I'll stick to reading the best YouTube comments of the week. How about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Lower your voice, but yeah, sure.
How about you, motherfucker? How about you stick to your bits and I'll do my bits? I'll do my segments. How about that?
Like, subscribe, come on my face.
Like, subscribe, come on Cody's face.
Fuck
so
my
far,
mother, fuck your mother, fuck our mother.
The comments of the week. Edward writes in, Jon is the king of yum yucking. Do you agree?
I read that comment, but I didn't know what that meant because I'm, half a Malouk. So
you didn't bother to actually go look it up?
No, I assume that's, just based on the context. Is that some sort of like something to do with you milking the audience, or kind of like...
Well, that's what I thought too, because I had never heard the phrase yum yucking either. So, but I'm actually curious, and I wanted to go look it up to see what it was. And no, yum yucking is basically me shitting on things that you like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do that a lot. That's true.
Yeah. No, when I read it, I was kind of like, yeah, you know what? I can't really argue that.
Yeah, that's a good point by Edward, because one other thing I was going to tell you was that the Rolling Stones have added a show in the Ozarks, which I thought was really amazing and crazy. Just came out of nowhere, but I was like, I don't even know if I want to tell you about that, because you'll be like, hey, fuck you, man, or something. And so I didn't even, because you shit on the things I like. So
the slang phrase yuck your yum or yum yucking is used to describe the act of criticizing or putting down something that someone else enjoys. Which I don't actually think I really do, just because I'm my belief is just do whatever you like. I don't care. I won't necessarily act enthused by it, but I don't feel like I put it down.
Yeah.
At least I don't think I do. I'm just like, hey, you like what you like. Go do what you like. I don't care. I don't want to do those things.
You do kind of shoot things down sometimes, though.
Yeah, for myself, not you. Like, if you said you were going to go do something, I wouldn't be like, oh, wow, what a loser. Like, I just said, okay.
You might.
Not for me.
Yeah, but sometimes there'll be things like that maybe I want to say that, like, and I'm not necessarily saying it to you, but I'm saying it to the audience, and you'll just be like, I don't want to hear about that. Moving along. I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah, so, that's fine, I guess, if it's important to you. I guess that would be yucking your yum. Breaking the rules here a little bit. Logan tweets in, not comments on YouTube. Which again, Logan, we're trying to get our YouTube algorithm up and popping, and our comments and our views up. But he writes in, I listen. This is a claim here. How about this claim right here, Cody? I listened to every episode of Talk Sports y'all did together.
There's no way that's 100% true, but I get the point. Yeah.
He says every single episode, which, we did, as long as we had the podcast up, it would be possible.
Yeah, but like going back to like August 2017, I mean, it just seems like, I don't think anybody's listened to every single episode. That seems just like so much.
No, it does.
Maybe he has, but
But he says he's listened to every episode, and then also says, Cody definitely argued about the tongue. Thank you, Logan. I agree. I remember it too.
Okay. But, well, see, that's another thing you do is you like to take things that, reinforce something that you said as proof of, but still we don't really know the detail. Like, I still don't really understand what you mean when you say that I argued about the tongue, like, because you're making it sound like I didn't know what the logo meant or something. And like, that's simply not true. I mean, it's my favorite rock and roll band. So I still don't know what you're getting at with that.
I know you might not know, but I know and Logan knows, and that's 2-1. So
okay, well, explain it to me if you know.
Donovan says, out of 1,000 shows, I've listened to approximately 800 to 875. Also feel like Cody's journey since leaving Knoxville has no end game, but hey, he's always been a drifter.
What does that mean? My journey has no end game. See, that's we've all got an end game, and ultimately it's death. So what does that mean?
Well, Brendan, he disagrees. He says Texas has made Cody a country music star. Comedy is in the past, boys. So he's kind of implying your end game might becoming a musician, a country music star.
Well, hey, I mean, you never know. Country's not really my thing. I think I'd be more of a rock and roll man, but I've been writing songs for a long time. So,
well, I was going to ask how you felt about that because you were trying to write a rock and roll ballad, but instead, it comes across as a country love song.
Well, hey, if it sells, it sells, If I can make some money off a hit, I don't really care what chart they put it on.
Chase writes in, this is the best damn podcast. Hopefully you remember in America, in the whole entire world. Honestly, the highlights of the week, please keep doing 2 a week. This is cheaper than my therapist.
Good comment. Good, strong comment from Chase.
Why am I one of the 18 lost souls at 11:40 p.m. watching this train wreck? Asked Patrick. And then Jackie writes in, look, it's your decision whether to keep giving us 2 podcasts a week. I'm just saying that not giving me 2 of these a week might make me make a decision that I'm not sure you want on your conscience. In parentheses, in a video game, you decide. Which right. I think that was one of the messages you were alluding to. Threatening self-harm.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
well, here we are. Here's the second one a week. It's a day late. I think the audience has kind of come to understand that the Thursday or the Monday thing might not be ironclad. And I am taking all the blame here for it being my fault that we gotten off schedule. Cody has been good about keeping a schedule. It's on me. I'm taking the blame.
Right. 100%.
Well, I won't say 100% because sometimes you do. Like you had to go to Vegas one time. You left. You had to travel. Like, I mean, the times we've gotten off schedule isn't 100% my fault. But I'm taking the lion's share of the blame. Like you could have accommodated me and done it like at 11 o'clock last night. But you're like, oh, we'll be home till like 1 o'clock and your time. I was like, okay, it's fine. We'll do it Friday. So I'm taking like 85% of the blame. I'll take 85% of the blame.
I should cost myself more money by coming in early. Yes, that's true.
Well, I cost myself money by coming here and doing this. So, yes, I mean,
you're not
it's
costing
the same
yourself
thing.
money.
I'm working, man. I'm on the
you're
clock.
On the clock.
I'm running a merchandise. I'm time thefting right now because I'm running a merchandise empire here. I'm an apprentice trying to learn the merchandise game. I'm trying to make sure my radio people are good. The 37 Club's happy. Fox Sports Knoxville is good. SM Athletics is good. New management has taken me under his wing like a little baby bird. He's trying to show me the merchandise.
I get that.
I know. And I'm here. I am taking an hour out of the day to come here and talk to you, but it is content. and it
And
will go on the
yeah,
Fox
but
Sports Knoxville.
you're
It
on
will
the
go on the
clock.
SoundCloud. I'm working 3 jobs at one time. I mean, I don't know. This might cost me to get fired from the other one.
Everybody knows you got a full plate, but yeah, I mean, I think people appreciate that you have separate people to appease, but you got to prioritize our podcast audience too. And I think they see now that you're trying to do that. So I think people appreciate that. And you're not losing money because you're on the clock, but they understand. People understand.
Still not exactly thrilled with just having 275 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not thrilled by that. Also, go subscribe to the Fan Run TV YouTube while you're at it. But 346 views on the last YouTube was pretty cool. I liked that. I think that's our highest one.
It's
so I do
up
appreciate
there.
the people that went to watch it, and maybe we're getting in an algorithm, and other people are kind of seeing it now.
Yeah, we could expand our audience.
Yeah, no, that's the plan.
That's
I think
the goal.
maybe that's helping. So I do appreciate the audience. Anyways, what else do we got to talk about?
Well, I had a couple of riders from Poland yesterday, which I found to be interesting. A couple of Polacks in the car.
What'd you talk about?
Well, I just, I asked them where they're from, and that's one of the cool things about Ubering in a city where people travel to is you meet all different types of people. You Canadians and Australians, and I mean just all different types of folks. But I had a couple of Poles yesterday, and
are they actually? Is that what a Polak is?
I think so, yeah. And I said, where are you guys from? They said, Poland. I was like, oh, wow, that's a long drive. They said, oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. We live in Warsaw. I said, oh, Warsaw, that seems like a nice town to live. Got to be a nice place with a name like Warsaw.
I prefer Peacetime Wrench.
Is that in Poland?
Yeah, it's a great city. Peacetime Wrench.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I was asking them about Poland. How's your weather over there right now? And the way they talked, Poland's a pretty nice place to live. Everybody's happy. I mean, you can't really think of anything bad that's ever happened in Poland, right? So it's a good place. It's a good place with a nice, pleasant history. Good folks over there. They were men, unfortunately. I would have preferred a couple of Polish women.
Did you ask them if they had any daughters?
No, that'd be weird. But instead of getting Polish women, I got a couple of Polish sausages.
And they said, "I'll show you some Poles," and they whipped it out.
No, they didn't expose themselves. Luckily, they didn't. They didn't do that.
Kind of wish you would have laughed at my Peacetime Wrench joke.
I didn't get it. So some things I don't get. I don't know.
War instead of war, peacetime instead of saws, just like a wrench, a different type of tool.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I said Warsaw.
Yeah, peacetime wrench.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I get it now.
You thought that was just an actual city in Poland?
No, I didn't really think it was a city, but I didn't know what you were getting at, so I just kind of moved on from it.
Because you get it, like peacetime and war.
I do, yes. Now I do get it, yeah. Peace is the opposite of war.
I wouldn't want to go to a place that's full of war saws, like wars and saws. That seems dangerous. Peacetime wrench. Okay.
Anyways. You ever use a saw?
Have I ever used a saw? Yeah, not often.
What's your have you ever used I know you've probably used a chainsaw, chopping up wood or something like that. But
I've used a chainsaw. I've used just one of the blades. You have to saw things before. And then I've used like a big electric saw. I don't like doing it. I always get scared about losing my fingers when I use the big saw. Yeah.
I feel like you got to be a real man to use a saw without a motor, like a real table saw.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
What'd you use
I won't
it
act
for?
like I've done it often. I helped my mom build a deck about a decade ago. when I moved back from Ohio. Like I helped her build like her deck, like her porch or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had to saw certain things to like put them up, and I don't like I guess banisters or some shit. I don't know.
How's it doing?
She moved out of the house. I hope it's still up, but I don't know.
I feel like a deck has kind of a short, well, not short, but it does definitely has a shelf life. Because you ever been on a deck where the wood's kind of rotted out and it's like, it starts to collapse in places, and like you wonder how safe that deck can be over a long period of time. My grandmother had a deck. She had trees growing through her deck, actually, which I thought was cool. They left a space where the trees were. They built the deck around the trees so you get some shade on the deck.
Well, I was going to say, it kind of implies that her deck lasted a long time if a whole damn tree grew up in between it, but I guess it was already there.
The tree was there. Yeah, they built the deck around the tree.
And what happens if the tree dies and falls? It just takes the deck down?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe so. If the tree were to collapse on the deck, it would do some damage to the deck. And it would depend at that point on what type of homeowner's insurance you had. I'd say on whether or not you're able to replace it. But, that reminds me of something that I see sometimes that always amazes me is when you see grass growing on like a concrete building, something like that. Somehow or another, some grass gets through. You ever see things like that?
Sure.
Grass is very aggressive in the way that it wants to come up from the earth. And sometimes
kind of respect it though, right? Grass is a grinder.
Yeah. Yeah. It sure is. Well, so anyway, I had a couple of notes about some things in the news as well. Wondered if you had any thoughts on these things. Speaking of collapses, it's a transition right here. Did you see the Mexican stage collapse down in Mexico?
No, I didn't. What happened?
Well, it was a political rally of some sort. The new, they're electing somebody down. I don't know if it's a new Mexican president or somebody in their Congress or whatever, but it was like a political rally. Thousands of people at this event, it appeared, or at least hundreds probably. And there were several people on stage, and there's videos of it out there. And I guess they had gotten some bad storms, and there were high winds, or just a combination of factors. And the stage collapsed while they were up there, doing their celebration thing. Like you see political rallies, people are up there like, oh, thank you all for your votes and this and that. And then all of a sudden the stage comes down. The Mexican stage collapse.
Wow. Did somebody get hurt?
Well, 4 people died. And it was a big stage. Like if you see the video of it, it's pretty wild. You see fire comes up, and like the death toll might actually be higher now. I'm not sure if the death toll has grown, but yeah, at least 4 people died in the Mexican stage collapse. Pretty crazy stuff. I saw that on my news feed.
Our thoughts and prayers are with those in Mexico. Did you see Will Levis's penis?
No, I didn't. Is that going around?
Yeah. I guess like a 20-ish second video of him having sex got posted on Twitter.
Oh, shit. Was it that Gia Duddy girl? Because I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Was.
Wow. Yeah. Can you see her like in the flesh?
It seems as if he has taken a video himself while he is behind her. So,
yeah.
You get to see plenty. A lot of his penis, though. A lot of his penis is shown.
I know what I'm doing after the podcast. Speaking of sex, sorry?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to go watch that video.
You're that interested in seeing Will Levis's penis?
I'm much more interested in seeing the girl.
Oh, okay.
She's hot. That girl with curly hair and like, I don't know where she's from, but I remember she had curly hair and she was very sexy. But speaking of sex, are you familiar with Lisa Spanks?
She sounds like a porn star.
Pretty sure she was a porn star. And she set the record in 2004 with the most sexual partners in one day. This is another thing I just happened to see on my timeline. 919 men. Can you believe that? Back in 2004, she had sex with 919 men in 12 hours.
Hold on. Where was she at?
I don't know where she was at, but she had sex with 919 men in 12 hours. Google her, Lisa Spanks.
I don't want to Google her. Was she trying to set like some record or something?
Yes, she was.
Okay,
and she did it. She did it. In 2004 is when this occurred.
Oh well, why is it just coming out now?
Well, I think it came out a long time before now, but it was one of those things I saw on my timeline that I'd never heard about. I found it interesting.
Oh,
I mean, it had to have been a real challenge, right? You'd probably want to get tested after that.
You would think so.
919 men in 12 hours. I mean, how many is that per hour? What's
you can do the math.
919, let's just call it 900, make it easier, divided by 12.
You can do it. Come on.
I mean, it's got to be like around 90 an hour, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, that would be if it was 10, not 12.
Was 12 hours, so maybe like 80 an hour?
Getting closer.
Somewhere in there?
Yeah, because 900 divided by, 10 would be 90. 12, 75. 75.
How do you do that? I mean, I guess you just lay there and you just take them one by one, and I guess everybody just kind of dips in, because that's more than one guy per minute. So that's got to just be every guy's dipping in for like, 3 or 4 thrusts, and then they're pulling out and leaving. I mean, which I guess that counts, right?
I don't know if I count it. I mean, for the sake of the world record, I would say no. But in terms of like your lover's body count, yes. World record, no. Body count, yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in terms of like world record, I think there has to be a climax, a finish. But, if it was your lover that told you that she did this, you would count all 918 men for sure.
I would think there would
be. Honey, why did you do this? Why would you do this to yourself? It wouldn't be like, well, how many? How long? Thrust count? Climax?
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that.
I would think there would need to be somebody present from Guinness there watching the whole thing with some sort of standard.
I think that's kind of the idea, right? Is that, yeah, I think to be a world record, maybe you can video it, though, and prove the legitimacy. I don't know if a world record judge has to be there for everything. I'm not sure, though, how that works. Joey Chestnut broke the world record, by the way. Speaking of meat, he ate 14 pounds of bologna.
Wow. 14 pounds of bologna. That's what he was doing there in Knoxville?
Right. Which feat do you find to be more impressive?
How long did he do it?
8 minutes.
8 minutes, he ate 14 pounds of bologna?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, that's more impressive. Because, like, Lisa Spanks, like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but she's just taking dick for 12 hours, I mean, all she got to do is lay there. I mean, I assume she maybe dries up at some point. I don't want to be too graphic, but, you probably have to have some lube on hand, but ultimately you're just laying there taking dicks. Joey Chestnut is doing, I mean, it's more of a bodily function, more of a, to swallow 14 pounds of bologna. That seems harder to me. So I'm going to go Joey Chestnut there on that being a more impressive feat.
You think that's harder than just laying still?
Yeah. I don't think she had to lay still either. I mean, she could move around a bit. And for 12 hours, she probably did have to move around. She probably had to flip over a couple times. You maybe get up and walk around a little bit. You don't want to get blood clots.
It's true. I didn't think about the blood clots angle.
Yeah. They tell you that as an Uber driver.
I need to get a look at this girl.
Lisa Spanks. I imagine she's
with an
dead
X?
by now. Yeah, SPANX, I believe. Maybe even 2 X's.
Ugh.
You wouldn't have signed
Ugh.
up?
No.
In 2004, though?
No.
She doesn't do it for me either. I don't like those bimbo-looking girls like that.
I mean, the picture I'm looking at, she doesn't even look like a bimbo, really.
You
Maybe
know
I'm
what I
not got.
mean, though. Large
Maybe I don't.
breasts.
Okay, well, maybe I don't have the right girl.
Like everybody, like when we were kids, everybody was into Pamela Anderson. She never really did it for me.
Apparently, this is on YouTube.
The event?
It just says Lisa Sparks, 919 men's in 12 hours is what it said. I don't know. Anyways, what else you got for me?
Good for
You sure
her.
her last name's not Sparks?
It could be. I'm not ruling it out. Oregon.
So do you not have the story in front of you, or you're just getting her name wrong?
Yeah, I'm probably getting her name wrong. I thought it was
Okay.
Spanx. It could be Sparks.
Okay, fair enough. You're a moron.
Rapper killed himself on live video playing with a gun. Have you heard about this story?
No, I haven't.
Well, he shot himself in the head. He was doing things, messing around with his gun, and hey, look at my gun, look at me, and boom, shot himself right in the head by accident. So that was unfortunate for him, and it brought out it brought out the phrase that is maybe my least favorite phrase in online chatter these days.
What's that?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I have a real problem with people saying the same shit like that.
It's so funny to me that I get called the yuck yammer. You're such a yuck yammer. You're much more of a yum yucker than I am.
I don't. I'm not saying I hate these. It annoys me.
I'm way more of a yum yucker than you, John. That's what you need to be saying.
Now you're going to make
right.
fun of someone because I stuttered a bit. Our president has a speech impediment. You make fun of him too.
People make fun of him all the time.
Do you?
Do I? No, I respect the position of president.
That's the right answer. No, it annoys me. Does it not annoy you when people say the same old shit all the time?
No, because I just let people, do whatever they want. I'm not a yum yucker. You are. I actually want an apology, Ed. Cody's much more of a yum yucker than I am.
Good luck getting an apology from a guy named Ed.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Speaking of Ed, did you know that the name Frederick has 7 names inside of it? This is another thing I saw online. It's maybe the most versatile first name that you can name a boy. Frederick.
All right. What are the 7?
Well, Ed, Fred, Red, Eric, Derek, Rick. What is that, 6? And then I think maybe you count Eric with a K. We know a guy named Frederick. He goes by Rick.
So Fred, Red, Ed, Derek, Eric, and Rick.
Yep. Which that's only 6, I guess. But, there's other variations, like Eric with a K or Rick with no K.
Freed. Fred E.
Eder is a name, too. Somebody said Eder, E-D-E-R, can be a name.
Ree.
What's your name?
Oh, you must be from Russia.
Well, some counties in Oregon are considering becoming a part of Idaho. They don't align with the policy. We're talking about Eastern Oregon, a little more rural, more country folk over that way. They don't really align with the politics around Portland. And so
they're talking about changing states for real.
Yeah, and
I haven't seen this story.
apparently it's a real movement. Like several different counties are on board with this. They've whatever signed a petition or whatever to
How do you
become.
do this? What's the legality? What's the process you have to do to change states? Because I mean, like I know California, there was a real movement to try to split California up into 3 states, but of course the liberals said no because they didn't want to lose all their electoral votes and say, hey, we're going to be blue because LA's so big. But the rest of the states like, hey, we don't line up with this godless shit that you guys do up here. and so like that was talked about a couple years ago. I haven't heard much about it recently, but
Well,
I'm curious what the process is. Like how realistic is this?
well, also another interesting thing about California that you may have heard is it has the 4th largest GDP of any country. So like if
Yeah.
you take California on its own, like between the tech industry and the entertainment industry and all that, like it's like the 4th largest country in terms of just exports. So they don't want to break that up probably either for the, you know, I don't know. I would assume that these counties don't have a lot of power, like in comparison to the state of Oregon, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever read about a state doing this. Has it ever happened before? I mean, I'm sure at some point it has, but I wonder when the last time a city has changed states. Let me Google.
Probably back in like the 1800s or something, like when we weren't
When
all
is the last time a city
it
changed
probably wouldn't be city.
states?
It'd probably be like
Least list of renamed places. Has a city ever been renamed?
I don't think we're talking about a city.
All right. When's the last time a county changed states?
Yeah. Or maybe like
Uh,
territory disputes or something might be a way to look it up. But the interesting thing about it is it's the southeast part of Oregon that's trying to do this. And so like if it were to happen, Idaho would be shaped like a middle finger to Canada, which that's the interesting part to it.
You know,
Funny.
Idaho does have a very specific look, so it would be kind of weird if all of a sudden it was a different shape.
Yeah, and they have that slender part going straight up to Canada, so it would look like a middle finger, which is kind of
I'm
funny.
kind of rooting for this now. I want to see it happen.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
No, probably not.
I mean, I don't know the politics of it, but like I said, I assume that the counties don't have much power compared to the state of Oregon. But I, who knows? Do you see those the ETSU golfers that were videoing the Delta baggage handlers?
Yeah, I was on the baggage handler sides.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Figured you'd be on the golfer side, knowing you.
Why? I don't golf.
I know, but it's just kind of your crowd.
No, I mean I don't want to see them spike it, but I think it's reasonable to take a bag and just throw it. I mean I don't put anything valuable in a bag. Now maybe. Do you think the workers even knew they were golf clubs? I imagine it sucks having to unload those heavy ass golf clubs, anyways.
I think they probably knew it was golf clubs by the shape of the bags. Yeah. But they were just kind of tossing them, But
yeah,
some people were saying they could have backed up because everybody on the internet has an answer on what should be done. So they were saying that they could back their little cart up closer, and that would have been a solution there, and just let the bags fall off into the little truck.
Did you see who died today?
No. Hope it's not Keith Richards.
No, but I really do hope and pray that when that day comes, I'm the one that gets to break the news to you.
That's a real rude thing to say.
No, I just want to be there to help you get through it.
Yeah, right.
I want to give you a hug and just say, Cody, I got some bad news.
I don't want you to touch me.
Keith is gone. Come on. No, you're fucking with me.
I would guess that Jordan will probably break that news to me. He's the only person I know that's more online than you are.
Morgan Spurlock. Do you know who that is?
Morgan Spurlock. No.
He ties into the conversation we had earlier, sort of, kind of.
What happened to him? And
He
who is he?
died. He died. I told you. He's shuffled off this mortal coil. He is dead. R.I.P.
Well, what happened? And who is
He
he?
died of cancer. He died.
Okay, Morgan Spurlock dies of cancer. That's the headline. But who is he? Why should I care?
He made the McDonald's documentary, Super Size Me.
I thought that was the big fat dude, Michael Moore or whatever.
The guy that made the Columbine movie?
No, who's the big fat fuck with the hat? He used to do. He's like a documentary guy.
Yeah, he made Bowling for Columbine, and he made the 9/11 movie, right?
Michael Moore, is that who it is?
Yeah.
He didn't do Super Size Me?
Have you seen Super Size Me?
Super Thigh Me? Yeah, but it's been a long time.
He also looked like the MILF Hunter. Did you ever watch the MILF Hunter series on the internet back in the day?
No.
I kind of thought it was the same guy for a while, but like the guy would go around grocery stores hunting for MILFs, and then would like have his way with them in like a van somewhere and film them and put
for a MILF.
You just go say, "Hey, I'm the MILF Hunter, and I think you're so hot. Do you have any kids? Let's go have sex in my van, and I'll put you on camera for $200." And they'd be like, "Okay, sure."
I'm not familiar with the series. That sounds like something that would have aired on like FX or like the.
Oh no, it wasn't airing on any TV. It was airing on the internet as pornography.
Oh, okay. Was that on like? Well, no, it couldn't. What was the Man Show? What network was that on?
That was Comedy Central. That was Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Now, this was a guy having sex with women in his van,
Down by the river.
filming them. It was pornography. It wasn't on TV.
Was he a good-looking guy?
No, he looked like Morgan Spurlock.
I don't know what Morgan Spurlock looks like.
Well, he looks like the MILF Hunter.
Can you show me a picture?
No. How can I show you a picture? I can't. I don't want to share my screen with you.
You probably got your computer in front of you, don't you?
Actually, I probably can share my screen with you. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look this up. Let's try this. This is a exclusive to the YouTube crowd. Let's see how this works. Okay, share screen.
So
Can you see?
No, I don't see anything.
Not yet. Okay, what about now?
Oh yeah, I do see that. Wow, how do you do that?
I hit screen.
Oh, that's cool. We should do that more often.
Well, I know. I'm going to try to upgrade. So that's him eating McDonald's. So he had a rule. He was trying to show how fat you get by eating McDonald's. So he would go order McDonald's. I think, was it every day for 30 days, I think? And
right.
if they said, "Hey, do you want to supersize that?" He had to say yes.
They don't even ask you that anymore.
Well, because of this documentary, it was so embarrassing for them that like he ate nothing but supersized McDonald's for like 30 days and just his life went to shit. Like his body got so fat, his cholesterol got so high.
I get it.
Like he really kind of like embarrassed McDonald's.
It's not as bad as In-N-Out. They ask you, "Will you be eating this in the car?" Which to me is a very patronizing question. And I say, yes, I will be eating this in the car.
Is this showing up on the screen? Ah!
Yeah,
Whoops.
MILF Hunter?
Yeah, I was trying to show. Do you not think this guy kind of looks like him?
Oh, yeah. So it's not the same guy, though?
No, but it looks like him, right?
Yeah, it does look like him. Yeah. Also kind of looks like Hugh Freeze.
This is probably going to get me kicked off YouTube, so I need to make sure I edit that part out.
I don't think it'll matter.
Can you show boobies on YouTube?
Yeah, it's free country, brother. You can show titties anywhere.
I'm still gonna edit out the nipples just in case. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. We're trying to get it going.
I'm pretty sure in Austin it's legal for women to be topless.
Yeah, I know, but did you see how much that guy looked like him?
Yeah, he also kind of looked like Hugh Freeze. Did you get that vibe at all?
No, I don't see Hugh Freeze.
No? Okay. Well, fuck me then. Yeah, so which did you prefer, the MILF Hunter or the Super Size Me documentary?
Both were a big part of my life in high school, probably.
Both critically acclaimed. You
I
you
remember
were
I remember in high school they made us watch Super Size Me, during health class, and then I remember liking the MILF Hunters videos around, freshman sophomore year too.
you were into MILFs?
Sure, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was big for my generation. Like it was because I don't think MILF was a thing before American Pie, and then American Pie made it common vernacular, and then
That's
that was a
true.
big part of my childhood, my adolescence.
Just looking for big breasted mothers.
Yeah, now on the internet they lie. These women are very clearly not mothers. They're also not very old, so I'm just kind of think we're losing the recipe here.
You think so? You think the MILF age is skewing younger?
Just on the internet, yeah. I mean, I know in real life probably not, but on the internet, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes at least.
a MILF used to be a very defined category. Like you could see, oh yeah, definitely a MILF. It normally involved kind of wavy blonde hair, freckles, large breasts. They all kind of look like biker chicks in the videos.
Although Morgan Spurlock from Super Size Me, he did get canceled during the Me Too movement. So we must include that in our obituary of him, apparently.
Oh, what happened there?
He admitted to sexual misconduct in the past. I've come to understand after months of these revelations that I am not some innocent bystander. I'm also a part of the problem. And then apparently somebody revealed that he had been accused of rape during college. So
Mm.
that was kind of the end of his career, because in 2019 he tried to do another Super Size Me. It was called Super Size Me 2 Holy Chicken, which I imagine is about Chick-fil-A, but I'd never heard of that one. So
Super
at
Size
him,
Me Holy Chicken?
Super Size Me 2 Holy Chicken.
Oh, okay.
So add him to the list of people that have been successfully canceled.
Yeah. So he was a rapist.
Accused, he said, in college.
I wonder if that's what he used to tell the college girls. Supersize me. They probably thought he was a real creep. He's probably like, no, I'm going to supersize you against your will. Kind of fucked up, huh?
Yeah, it does kind of ruin Super Size Me for me.
Speaking of college, did I ever tell you about the time that I went to the Arkansas Razorback football camp and skipped the practices?
Yeah, you did. You said you just hung out in the hotel.
I have told you about that.
Yeah.
Well, I was on the phone with Clint last night, and he brought that up, and I said, I've forgotten all about that. I wonder if I've ever told Jon about that. That would be a funny thing to say on the podcast. I could tell Jon about that, but it sounds like I've already told you, so never mind.
You told me about it when we did a radio show back in the good old days.
How do you remember that?
I just remember everything you tell me, buddy.
You got a real sharp, fine-tuned brain up there, don't you?
Thanks. By the way, speaking of memory, did you ask Clint if he was ever going to give me that $500?
No, I don't. I don't think Clint owes you $500.
How not? How does he not? We made a bet.
I think it was just something that was said in passing, right?
If someone says, I'll bet you $100 that you can't do this, and then I say okay, and then we'll up it for everyone after, and I'm pretty sure he said okay in text. I'm pretty sure it's a binding bet.
Oh, the bench press reps.
Yeah, and I brought video proof with it.
Yeah, you did. I think there was some question on whether or not you were some question of form or something.
No, there wasn't. There was no question of form, because it went down and touched my chest every time. There was a loose accusation of them being like fake weights for some reason. I don't know why the hell anybody would think they were fake weights in the YMCA, but no, It was all on the up and up.
Are you a bounce off the chest kind of guy when you bench press?
No, I'm not. I am sometimes I don't even go all the way to the chest to avoid bouncing up, but no, for the sake of the competition, I would go down, touch it, and go, but no, never bounce. And also, these guys now apparently it's okay to like hip thrust. Like as long as your shoulders don't come off the mat and your feet don't come off the floor, you can throw your whole body and arch your back and all that. I don't do that either. I'm old school, lay flat.
Yeah, well, as long as you get the weight up, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it's fine. I don't know the science behind it, but no, I'm not a hip thrust. I'm not a bounce guy. I'm a very straight and narrow, just off the chest, slowly.
Yeah.
But
Nope,
yeah, just
that's better.
next time you talk to him, maybe just ask him about that $500. I don't know.
Well, he'll hear this. He listens to every podcast, so he'll hear what you're saying.
Okay, well, just let me know what he says back, and we can settle just for the original 100 if he doesn't want to be like, well, I'm not going to give you all 5, but here's 100. I'll take that at this point.
Clint's a hard-working man. He works 2 or 3 jobs, and he's got a family. He's got a kid to take care of, who he puts through daycare, and daycare is not cheap. So,
well, he looks at me,
cut him a break.
But he looks and sees how barrel-chested I am, and he still said that it was cap. He still said, I believe it was something like no chance in hell or something like that.
I think it's just more because, I don't know. He probably just doesn't know that you're a workout guy, and he probably just sees you, and he's like, there's no way that guy can. Something said in passing. I mean,
no, it wasn't in passing. In passing means we were having a conversation. He interjected himself into the conversation. It wasn't in passing. It was me and you were talking in passing, and then he stuck his 2 pennies into it. Well, actually, he really stuck 1,000 pennies into it, or 5,000 pennies into it. Is that right? 100.
Again, the man's trying to take care of his family. Cut him some slack.
1,000 pennies is only $10, right? No, not
1,000 pennies. Yeah, that won't get you much.
No, that's $10. Yeah, so he stuck his 50,000 pennies into it.
You know how much 100 pennies is?
$1.
That's $1.
You know what do you know what 1 penny will get you these days?
Not shit.
An NIT appearance, am I right?
Oh, there you go. There's a joke. Now,
Ayo, take that, Memphis fans.
That's
that
a
listening.
Sports basketball joke right there.
Now I feel no shame in putting it on our sports podcast feed.
Yeah, there you go. I
made a sports joke.
Did you know, or what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, are you familiar with the cicadas coming around?
No, I don't have time to talk about this. I got to go now. See ya.
Where are you going?
I got to go back to work. I got to edit the podcast. I got to do work. I got to do all this stuff. Now I'm going to be here till 7 o'clock working. I got stuff I got to do.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.